African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 24th of September, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces in the Lipsy and Volchansk directions defeated the formations of the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 36th Marine Brigade, and the 113th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Lipsy, Volchansk, and Volchansky Kuters in the Kharkiv region. Repulsed a counterattack by a nationalist assault group Kraken formations. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 65 servicemen, 3 vehicles, and a 122mm D-30 howitzer. Units of the West Group of Forces improved the tactical position, inflicted damage on the manpower and equipment of the 43rd, 44th, 66th Mechanized, 3rd Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 114th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Kupiansk, Zagoroykivka, Kolesnikovka, Lozovaya, Novoye-Gorovka in the Kharkiv region, Makievka, Nevskoye in the Luhansk People's Republic and Torskoye in the Donetsk People's Republic. For counterattacks by assault groups of the 14th and 63rd Mechanized Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and the 1st National Guard Brigade were repelled. The enemy's losses amounted to 420 servicemen, a Cossack combat armored vehicle, 3 pickups, a U.S.-made 155mm howitzer M198, a 152mm self-propelled artillery mount Akatsia, a 152mm gun D-20, a 122mm self-propelled artillery mount Gvozdika, a 122mm howitzer D-30, and a 105mm gun L-119 made in the UK. 4 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Troops occupied more advantageous lines and positions, defeated the formations of the 24th, 28th, 30th, 54th, 93rd Mechanized, 56th Motorized Infantry, 5th Assault, 25th Airborne Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 116th Territorial Defense Brigade and the Assault Brigade Light of the National Police of Ukraine in the areas of the settlements of Kramatorsk, Seversk, Verkhnekamenskoye, Kalinina, Stupachki, Pretikino, Belyagora, Maximilianovka, and Katerinovka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 810 servicemen, an armored personnel carrier, an armored combat vehicle, 15 vehicles, a Polish-made 155mm Krab self-propelled artillery mount, a U.S.-made 155mm M777 howitzer, 2 UK-made 155mm FH-70 howitzers, a 152mm D-20 gun, 2 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery mounts, a 122mm D-30 howitzer, 2 105mm guns, a UK-made L-119 and a US-made M119. An electronic warfare station and 4 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces continued to advance deep into the enemy's defense, inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 67th, 100th Mechanized, 142nd, 144th, 152nd Infantry, 95th Airborne Assault, 55th Artillery Brigades, 78th Airborne Assault Regiment of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, 109th, 118th, 119th Territorial Defense Brigades and the 14th National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Dzerzhinsk, Nelipovka, Rozovka, Krasnoarmysk, Dmitrov, Grodovka, Ukrainsk, Gornyak, and Kurakovka. They repelled 10 counterattacks by assault groups of the 53rd, 150th, 151st Mechanized, 68th Jaeger Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 3rd, 12th, 15th National Guard Brigades, and the Omega Special Forces Unit. The enemy's armed formations suffered losses of up to 555 servicemen, a US-made M113 armored personnel carrier, a Turkish-made Kirpi armored combat vehicle, 5 pickups, a 152mm MSTB howitzer, a 152mm D-20 gun, and 3 122mm D-30 howitzers. Units of the East Group of Forces improved the position along the front line, defeated the formations of the 33rd Mechanized, 58th Motorized Infantry Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 116th, 127th Territorial Defense Brigades, and the 21st National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Dobrovolye, Ugledar, Zolote and Niva, Shakhtarskoye, Rivnopil of the Donetsk People's Republic, and Temirovka of the Zaporizhia region. Repulsed a counterattack by the assault group of the 72nd Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The enemy lost up to 130 servicemen, 5 vehicles, and a Polish-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Crab. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the 35th Marine Brigade, the 103rd, 108th, and 123rd Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Molotokh-Machka, Nestoryanka in the Zaporizhia region and the city of Zaporizhia, as well as Tokarivka in the Kherson region and the city of Kherson. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 50 servicemen, 4 vehicles, a 152mm self-propelled artillery unit Akatsia, a 152mm howitzer MSTB, and a 152mm gun D-20. The electronic warfare station Anklavin and a field ammunition depot were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of the Russian Armed Forces groups inflicted damage on an enterprise of the Ukrainian defense industry complex, which produced and serviced aircraft gas turbine engines for combat aircraft of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, as well as energy industry facilities that supported their operation, military airfield infrastructure, 2 production workshops, an assembly point for unmanned aerial vehicles, a fuel and lubricants warehouse, as well as concentrations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 149 districts. Air defense systems shot down 2 HARM anti-radar missiles and 3 US-made Mars rockets, as well as 63 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 646 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 32,187 unmanned aerial vehicles, 579 anti-aircraft missile systems, 18,343 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,458 multiple launch rocket systems, 15,150 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 26,436 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.